Will you look at these oxymorons? What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know, when you think about things that don't make sense, like an oxymoron, which would be like, that guy is skinny fat, or he's short tall, something like that. That girl is ugly cute. Things like that. Oxymorons, things that don't fit together or make sense. When you start thinking about things like that, it brings my mind to some of these black activists that's out there that is going around talking about things like systemic racism and white nationalism and white privilege and all of that stuff. But yet at the same time, they are making millions of dollars off of this systemically white society that we have. How are they getting past all the systemic racism? I mean, if you just watch TV real quick, you would think that we all should be swimming in it. If it's a systemic racist society, no black person should be able to slip through the cracks. No way, no how. So I just need to know how some of these people have slipped through the cracks. For example, Bubba Wallace. Let me see, I did a little research. Bubba Wallace is worth, $3.5 million. And this man drives a car. That's what it is. I drive a car. I'm not worth that much money. Not only does he drive a car and he's worth $3.5 million, but this man is doing it in an all-white dominated sport with all white audiences and supporters. I don't know too many brothers that watch NASCAR going out buying a Richard Petty shirt or something like that. You don't see too many brothers doing that. So now, how can he talk about Black Lives Matter and systemic racism and justice and all that crap, but yet you're rich in a predominantly white sport supported by predominantly white audience? Blows my mind. That right there is an oxymoron. You would think the systemic racism would stop him from rising to the cream. He should have never got his butt in a car, period. They should have been like, yo, we need to block this black man from sitting his butt inside of a race car ASAP. Who else is out there talking reckless? You got LeBron James. Let's see. James is worth $450 million in this systemically racist country. Do you think all that money comes from just, black people buying his sneakers, perhaps? Maybe when we look in the stands at the basketball games, we should see all black people there? No. It's a ton of white people that is supporting this man's $450 million lifestyle. How did he slip through the cracks? You mean to tell me in this systemically white racist country, this man was able to dip and dodge and slip and all of that stuff through all of that? Those landmines of racism that's just laid out there, he somehow managed to get through it and get into the position to make that much money. But one of the biggest mouths when it comes down to racial injustice and social injustice and all of that crap, I don't want to hear it. T.I., the rapper, the one that's been in prison. I mean, what country in the world can you be a black man that gets in trouble with the law, somehow comes out of it, and now is worth $50 million? Where was systemic racism when he was rising to the top, making all that cheese, huh? You would think that all of these white nationalists would just go in and snatch that all out from underneath him. Like, I'll be danged if I let you just sit here on top of all that money, man. We gonna take that stuff from you because it belongs to us whites. See, how'd he get through it, huh? What about Colin the Kaepernick's Pumpernickel? Pumpernickel is worth $126 million, plus he signed some deal for another $61 million. And this is a man who's mad for nothing, walking around trying to be extra pro-black by growing the hair out in afro. I don't know what he's doing with that. Anyway, this man is one of the biggest mouths when it comes down to, injustice, systemic racism, and all of that stuff. How'd you make all that money, Caps? I just want to know. How'd you get through? Because, see, y'all need to, come on, y'all. Tell me the secret. I need these brothers to come in here and tell me the secret of how they're getting past all the systemic racism. In fact, Why don't you tell all the black folks that you are encouraging to get mad, run around, protest, act a fool? Tell us all. What's the secret? I mean, you would think that once a black man become a millionaire, become rich, he would reach back and pull others with him. If he got the secret to success, let us all know. Because right now you're telling us we're all trapped in this condition because of systemic racism, as you somehow has beat the odds. What about John Legend? John Legend, this man's worth $45 million. But yet, chirp, 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 systemic racism, chirp, 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 all of that stuff. And Trump's a racist, of course, according to all these people. Why is it he's signing executive orders to implement his diabolical scheme of systemic racism to go in and repossess all of y'all funds? I mean, if he's such a dictator and a king and all of that stuff, why isn't he revoking all of these press members' passes? Why is Don Lemon still on TV talking every night, trashing the president and making millions of dollars a year? Joy Reid, Al Sharpton, the fake news. Shouldn't all of these entities just be shut down if he was a dictator? Yeah, shouldn't he be revoking all of their money, seizing their bank accounts, even signing executive orders to get them deported out of here? But nothing? So they still have the freedom to go about, talk reckless, and encourage young black men to think that they are constant victims and they can't get over it and can't get out of it. I mean, they up there singing George Clinton songs in regards to racism. So high, can't get over it. So low, you can't get under it. So wide, you can't get around it. All of that stuff. They are telling us we are stuck behind the wall of systemic racism while they're over on the other side talking about some poor black folks, man. Y'all, where's the ladder, LeBron? Where's the ladder, T.I.? Johnny, would you lower the ladder down for all us black folks since y'all have figured out the key to getting through all the systemic racism? So all of them talking crap about how systemically racist the country is while they have risen to the top and white systemic racists are supporting their lifestyle. Get out of my face with that mess, okay? Systemic racism. Just the fact that you are where you're at, making the money that you're making, is an oxymoron to that statement. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Unfortunately, many who get caught up in all of this rhetoric and listening to all this garbage, they don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? They just, I'm just going to assume that this rich black man who makes a lot of money off of white people, you know, they know what they're talking about in regards to systemic racism. Therefore, I'm going to get mad for nothing as they chill in they big fat mansions and on TV supported by all these white folks who buy tickets and all that stuff. It doesn't make sense. Why don't you turn away some of that money coming from all these systemically racist white people? Huh, Bubba? That's what I want to know. All those NASCAR people with their Confederate flags and big old cowboy hats. Give back that money. I refuse to take money from white America. That's what I only want to go ahead and take the money from the brothers who support me in NASCAR. What? Oh, it's only 3 of them? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay. How about then some, all right, not all the white people, just the ones that don't like the Confederate, I don't know. Or tell you what, I'm full of crap. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to tell you. That's what they should be saying. Because if they was real, and if they was really plagued by systemic racism, how about you X out all the money that comes from white America and see what you're left with? See, think about that. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. You know, I try to solve these oxymoronic statements and people and behaviors in our society. So, thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. You can check me out every Wednesday night live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, Twitter, and on my radio blog talk show. Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on the link below. Put Kevin in the promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. Want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner? Feel free. Links below. God bless y'all. We see you next time in Kevin's Corner.